The Marksman Coin, a feature deeply embedded into ULTRAKILL's very core of fast-paced combat. It's too bad that such a thing can't exist with real-world physics. Wait a minute. What's the title of this video again? The Marksman, a variant of the revolver created during the Final War for medium to long distance combat. Revolvers use electric pulses to fire microscopic pieces of metal at incredibly high speeds. Its defining trait is its ability to toss homing coins. What this means is that we have a near massless tiny projectile that's pushed to insane speeds by electricity and bounces off of coins. You know what that sounds like? Photons. Photons are massless, minuscule projectiles pushed to light speed, and they can be bounced into a specific area via reflection. In fact, there's already a nice equation for how it bounces off of objects called the law of reflection, and if we take a look at the sharpshooter, we can see that it applies. So, since the two are so similar, we're just gonna... Using this, we can calculate how the coins reflect bullets as them being small, tossable mirrors. With V1 being an intelligent and calculating machine, who definitely didn't know to throw the humans, what's likely happening is that V1 calculates how to throw the coins to reflect its shot into enemies beforehand. Knowing this, we just need to calculate the projectile motion and reflection to figure out how to reflect into the target at a set position, the same way that V1 does. Knowing that the coins are primarily made of iron from the blood of V1's enemies, and assuming that the coins are the same size as a quarter, since we don't have the cannon heights to compare to, we multiply iron's density with the volume of a quarter to get a massive 6.3747 grams, or 0.00634747 kilograms, which we can then use for our simulation. We can start by reversing the angle of the bullet's velocity before reflection to solve for the mirror angle needed to reflect into the target before combining that with a projectile motion graph made earlier, and then calculating the angular velocity to rotate into the rotation needed at a certain specified point on the coin's arc. We do this in a 2D Desmos graph as a proof of concept. Thanks to my friend who chose to go buy Hawaiian pizza on GitHub for helping to check my graph's calculations. The graph's linked down below in the description. Then we can take these calculations and move them to Python, where we can then expand them to 3D by expanding the single rotational axis calculations to the two needed. We can do this by getting the normalized version of both vectors from the in and out lasers before averaging them and then using its orientation to calculate the needed coin rotation, which we then just interpolate the x and z Euler angles of. Using this Python code, we can then include it in a Blender script. Yes, a lot of 3D modeling does include coding, to finally create our realistic Marksman coin. Sadly though, this still isn't real life. But it could be. You see, if you get this video to 100 likes, my friend with some knowledge of real-world mechanical engineering will be convinced to team up with me to build a machine that can do this in real life.